Good day, dear teacher. My name is Vanessa Victor. I'm going to talk about of my last video about of my five lesson plans that let's going to start explain how I will take my class. First, I'm going to explain the topic through this poster. And then the student have to do this exercise. And finally, the student have to do the short evaluation for the teacher know the level of the learning the each students. Then I'm going to explain step by step about my five lesson plans. The first point is information data that the topic is past progressive tense. The date is May 15, 2020. The is applied to the students that the third baccalaureate around for 45 minutes. And the lesson plan designer for me, Vanessa Victor. The lesson plan is for the student that the put level is the lower intermediate B1 CFR, that the professional level. And then the number 2, we have the TOEFL objectives that the student practice force ability, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Like I put the objectives, they identify the introduction, acquiring the new vocabulary, the cognizant vocabulary words, describe at the moment that were the in progress when a new event happened at a certain moment in the past. In this is important for the student practice the ability or skill for them in some activity in the teacher teach for them, and also the student interact with other students, and the student put the practice the force skills. Then the number 3, we had the methodology and strategies. In methodology, we have the communicative approach and audiolingual method. The communicative approach is in focus to all the topic for teach of to the students, and audiolingual method that the students pay attention to the teacher and listen the topic and listen the instruction, and then the student put to practice this methodology. In strategies, and we had the world-class word conversation, review of answer of the worksheets, paid word, and worksheet communicative activities, and also can be the individual activity, individual word, in growth word. But it's the way to the teacher put the activity for is necessary for the learn the topic. The number 4 is anticipatory step that the teacher begin the class by monitoring the and introducing the subject, providing example route and anecdotes about their way to work, so a student can get literal idea of the the teacher. Continue to the dance and structure and give the instruction to get to give them to example something that happened in their daily life. For for the 5.5 number main teaching input in this part describe detailing step by step for the activity to doing this moment in the class for do activity for the student. For example, 1 hour activity. At the beginning, the teacher made a student interact with writing something that has passed that, then another way using the subject provided that in this class. Next, the teacher explained the correct structure and for waiting event and what's happening and was interrupted by another event at a certain time in the past. Teacher given the student worksheet activities and teacher walk around the checking a student the teacher will write a structure a positive negative sentence and a sheet is given with exercise in sentence with short place in the way to study positive and negative and for questions. Teacher and student chat the answer and ask each student his answers. Teacher monitor the pronunciation, the correct pronunciations, and the teacher and student conclude with a short evaluation or with a class by reviewing the topic briefly. The number 6 is the modeling. The teacher start with the class with the introduction examples, for example this, and then to explain a structure in the different forms and such as positive and negative sentences. In question made a perform sentence and in way to way they will speed that the teacher corrects the gaps and in the found in the both pronunciation and structure, the teacher will be aware the students provided can help unnecessary. For example, the student has to do any sentence or any question for the topic. Number 7 is guided practice. The student develops an activity. For example, this activity is going to talk. Completion work. This activity is a workshop. And teacher walks around the class monitoring the activity. At the end, they check the answer with the old graph. In the number 8, 9, and 10, is very similar because in the abandoned practice, the students all the way front in my class, all the students were individual. For example, in the abandoned practice, they practice with 5 7 sentence with 5 sentences by the fact that occur them apply that the topic the topic the past progressive tense and also apply the affirmative, negative, and question forms to you as the numbers 9 outside. After that, the individual activity that they make a couple the course exchange to work and allows students the feedback part actually allow them participate in a feedback in the bird and of then review the pronunciation and understand of the subject. For example, with this exercise, can be the teacher said the student that can you read this sentence? The student in this part is complete this point that the assessment can be qualified by the teacher and to know the level to learn the students. And also the number 10 is the same maybe that the closing review that followed. Finally, the students at the end do this exercise for the same reason to qualify the level to learning to and knowing to the each students. For example, in this activity, the short evaluation is write sentences that the apply the past progress tense and affirmative, negative, interrogative forms for the student practice. This is all about the of my 5 lesson plans, and then I'm going to talk about the negative and positive aspects. For example, in positive aspect for these plans is a very great because the students pay attention throughout this poster. They can learn more easily, and also the teacher give them the some didactic material to the practice and join to enthusiasm. The students have the enthusiasm for do activity, and also the about this plan the teacher have to note to the order to give and execute the class. In the negative aspect is when the same the time is a little time, a short time for to execute this topic because the students need to more time for note slowly to each ruler to do this sentence. Affirmative, negative, and interrogative three form that the student sometimes don't pay attention and confuse the sentence, but don't have a good knowledge. Finally, in conclusion, general conclusion is that the is a very good firm to create the plans for help to a teacher and a student to execute the plan the class, and the student participate and enjoy the class, learn and and have a good result to satisfactory results to learn this class. And finally, my opinion, I prepare this class. All the plans is the same form for to teach because the level of the student is baccalaureate. The students are adolescents, and it's necessary to share or to share didactic material that they pay attention to the students with activity, learn more easily, learn more practice. Then it's necessary for me teach in this way that I made with my students and in last month ago that but it's necessary or is good for the teacher students. This is all from me. Thank you very much, teacher.